Hello again, and welcome to Tips with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Friday. Yeah, we made it. All right, the weekend is officially here. It kicks off with awesome weather. Oh, the sun is shining. The birds are chirping. Probably not because it's cold out. They're probably down south. But, for dramatic effect, right? Before we get started, I wanted a couple quick updates. doTERRA is actually doing a presentation that is available this weekend for developing healthy habits, sort of how to get into a routine, a healthy routine, different things that you sort of need to be aware of. There you go. Now we can see each other. So if you're interested in checking that out, there's a replay up right now. Definitely drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking and rolling with that. I believe it's on doterra.com also. Don't hold me to that. But if you're interested in developing healthy habits, learning about what doTERRA scientists sort of have to say, definitely check that out. It's worth a watch. Tina and I have got a lot of valuable information out of that. Another quick update. I am actually currently working on a course on teaching how to lose weight. Sort of how to make healthy choices, stuff like that. This is one of the weight loss is the number one New Year's resolution. So anything I can do to help you guys, that's what I'm trying to do right now. And I have a course that is sort of in the pre-launch stage, give or take, if you will. So if you want some early bird access to that, or if you want some input on what I should what I should be including or incorporating, definitely send me a message, drop me a comment, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. Without further ado, sorry that was a little bit of a long introduction, but keeping with our theme that we will for the week, weight loss, working out, all that stuff. What I wanted to give today is some tips on how to stay motivated. Whether you're starting a new weight loss routine, a workout regimen, or you're getting back into it, or you're a seasoned veteran, motivation is something that is going to be a scarce commodity for the most part, and you're going to have ups and downs, you're going to have trials and tribulations, and stuff's not always going to go your way, and there's a lot, you don't really understand how many pizza commercials there are until you don't really want to eat pizza because you're trying to be healthy. I know that simply because I broke my jaw, and you don't really realize how many food commercials there are until you can't eat physically because you have a broken jaw. So, that's where I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about, tips that keep me motivated, because it is a struggle. It's a daily struggle, and, nothing worthwhile in life is worth having without a struggle. So some tips to stay motivated. They help me. Hopefully they help you. Let's get it rocking. Tip number one is to be very, very clear on your why. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to get healthy? Do you have a significant other that you're trying to impress? Do you have a child that you can't really keep up with anymore? Do you have a child coming and you want to make sure that you have, the energy and all that stuff to be able to be with your child in that moment? Are you trying to run a marathon? Are you trying to just fit into that prom dress that you had that maybe you are a couple sizes too big for right now? Or maybe, you want to just get healthy because if this time in life has showed us anything, that being healthy is definitely something that gets overlooked on a daily basis. And it's definitely something that people are going to, start to try and find a lot more reasons to do so. So that's it. So find your why, have a clear-cut why. One of the things that was taught to me more than anything is keep breaking down your why. So you have your why, and then why that, and then why that, and why that. And then keep going down until you get into the nitty-gritty of why you actually want to lose weight, be healthy, get in shape, all that fun stuff. There is a reason, and there is a driving force behind it. If you find that, you will be unstoppable, and there will be nothing that will stand in your way of being able to accomplish whatever you're looking to accomplish. Tip number two, forget about yesterday. Yesterday happened. It did. Whether or not you were great, whether or not you did some stuff that you're maybe regretting or you're maybe not so proud of, yesterday happened. There's no point in dwelling on it. I know from personal experience that if you dwell too much on the past, it ends up being a long time. So you dwelled on yesterday, and now all of a sudden yesterday becomes last week, becomes 2 weeks ago, becomes last month, becomes a few months ago. So now you're dwelling instead of just progressing forward. Forget about yesterday, keep moving forward, find your why, and your why will help you get through any sort of ups and downs that you're going through. It will help you forget about yesterday. It will help you to keep going. But that's what you need to do more than anything, is understand that it is a struggle, it is a journey, and for most people, they never reach, the pinnacle of where they want to be. They always get so close and then just fall off, and whatever happens, life happens, stuff happens all the time. But just forget about it. Keep going, keep pushing forward, keep progressing forward, be kind to yourself, give yourself a little pat on the back, be like, look, hey, bro, all right, yesterday was a little bit of a down day, okay? We don't need that anymore. We need up days. We need to keep going, keep progressing forward, keep doing stuff that's gonna make us better people. And then a better, husband, father, friend, whatever you're looking to be better. Forget about what happened yesterday. Give yourself a nice little pep talk. You're great. You're awesome. Let's get going. Let's get it. Let's move forward. Forget about the past. The past is history. And, we got a lot of living there's a lot of living left to do here. So, progress forward, give yourself a pat on the back or a kick in the ass, whichever one you need, and get going, get back on track, because your life, your health, your wellness is way too important to just be dwelling on that pizza and the cake that you ate last night, or you indulge a little bit on some cookies. Who cares? It happens. You're human. You're not a robot. You're not programmed to be a robot. You're programmed to have a little bit of trials and tribulations, because nothing makes you better more than a little bit of failure. And that goes along with my next tip right here. Reward your successes. So if you've been going for a week straight, definitely reward your successes. It's Friday today. If you've been great all week, tonight's your night to let loose a little bit, just a little bit. Give yourself a pat on the back, maybe throw yourself a little party. Do what makes you feel good. Find out what makes you feel good and do that. Give yourself sort of I can't think of what I'm trying to say, but make sure you're nice to yourself, you're kind to yourself, and reward your successes, because when you only dwell on failures, you keep giving yourself more failures to dwell on. But when you reward successes, you actually get more successes, because you're putting out into the universe that you want more to reward yourself. You're putting out into the universe regardless. So if you're dwelling on past failures, you're going to have more to dwell on. If you're rewarding future successes or past successes, you're going to have more successes to reward. That's just the way the universe works. It's how and our mind, quickly off topic here a little bit, our mind doesn't recognize time. It really doesn't. It just recognizes what you think of and what you do the most. So if you're only dwelling on stuff that you should have done, or you coulda, shoulda, woulda, but didn't, you're gonna get more coulda, shoulda, woulda, but didn't. If you reward your successes, and you you majority focus on your successes and what you've done well, and what maybe you did indulge a cake, but damn, you indulged on a whole cake. I know you're not supposed to be proud of that, but you kind of get my gist. You want to reward your successes, whatever you're doing. So, okay, yeah, fine. You ate a whole cake. But before that, you were 2 shakes a day. You were you were the healthy snacks. You were cucumbers all day, every day. You were, 17 pounds of watermelon, and made sure that you got all of your water intake and your vegetable intake and all that stuff. You did well. But then you went and had a cake. It is what it is. You can't dwell on the failure of having the cake. You have to reward the successes for what you've done well. And If you're new to this, if you're just beginning, it's a very much a struggle, and you don't really understand how much of a struggle it is until you keep going with it. You know, it's easy to start and it's easy to keep going, you know, a couple days in a row, but when you keep going 5, 6, couple weeks, couple months in a row, that's when you really start to feel how different, you know, your body is, how much of a challenge it is. And how much it's easier to just, you know, go out and order fast food as opposed to cooking home cooked meals isn't the problem. Dishes are the problem. Oh my goodness, dishes. Ugh. But that's okay. Reward your successes. Make sure you give yourself a pat on the back and just keep moving forward. My next tip is to keep a journal, and a journal for everything. A lot of times you get into your head a lot, and you realize by writing stuff down that there's not actually that much going on in your head. But when you're only in your head, it really seems like a lot going on all the time because there is so much. And then you're bouncing back and forth between ideas and you're trying to remember what you've done this way, and you need to get that done, and this needs to be done, and oh man, I got to do that, and oh damn, I got a dentist appointment, and this, that, and yada, 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 yada. You know what I mean? The laundry list becomes a mile long, and it can be very easy to get overwhelmed and very easy to get off track. When you keep a journal and you write down all of your stuff, schedule is another thing that you could do. Have a day planner, and you keep track of everything that you're doing. You know, all of your activities throughout the day. A food journal is definitely going to help you stay on track with your eating habits, because nobody wants to write down that they've had McDonald's 3 times a day all week, and then you go back to your food journal and you're like, well, why isn't this working? I don't know. Well, your food journal says that you've had 7 Big Macs this week. Oh. Okay then. And that's pretty much what it is, because when you keep a journal, you're going to realize that you're way too much in your head. I know that I did. Once I started journaling and started writing everything down, I was way too much in my head. And I thought that I was moving 1,000,000 miles a minute always. When it turns out that I was only really just thinking 1,000,000 miles a minute. I wasn't really moving at all. But then a food journal is definitely going to help you control what you're eating, what you're intaking in. And then also a journal of how many times you're working out, how many times you're drinking your water, how many, you know, sodas you're having, how many times you're doing whatever you need to write down in your journal to make sure that you can progress forward. And you also have something to look back on. Be like, hey, you know, this week I ate 7 Big Macs. The next week I killed it. I didn't even have fast food one day. I had, you know, home cooked meals. We had the salads, the quinoa, and all that other fun stuff. And that's where you start rewarding yourself. You know, I did great this whole week. I am in for a reward, a pat on the back, a nice dinner out. You know what I mean? Dining out doesn't have to be bad. You just have to watch what you're eating, how much you're eating. The worst part about dining out is actually just the portion sizes, because places want to give you more bang for your buck so that you come back. I mean, how many times have you heard somebody rant and rave about a place that charged way too much for no food? I don't know that I have, but I always hear people rant and rave about places that charge little amount of money and give you a plethora of food. So, but that doesn't matter. The portion sizes, the dining out, all that doesn't matter. Keep a food journal, keep a journal, and a food journal, an exercise journal, all that stuff, all the stuff that you're doing in your weight loss, workout, wellness routine. Journal it, write it down, take it out of your mind, put it on paper, and it will just be that much more beneficial for you. My next tip is to switch up your routine. Sometimes when you get going and you keep doing the same thing over and over, and it can get boring, and it can get unmotivating, and it can get tedious and monotonous, and you don't really want to do much anymore because it's the same thing over and over and over. And you're like, I'm going to take all of my strawberries and throw them out the window. I don't care for any more strawberries. Urgh. Also, if you do the same workouts all the time, you're going to not really want to be working out anymore because there's no enjoyment in it. There's no cycle in it. There's no fun. There's no difference. It's just the same thing over and over every single day. And then all of your days start blending in together. That's really the worst part. You don't want all your days blending together because then you forget, and you think you did it, and then you don't remember if you did it yesterday, and it might have been the day before, and you might have done it today, and I think I did it yesterday. Wait, was that last night? What day are we today? I don't know. But that's that's how easy it can be. So switch up your routine. Do a little bit different every day. You know, if it's working out, maybe switch between upper and lower body every day. You know, cardio and weights every day. So whatever you need to do. If it's your food, definitely try and switch up how you do your food intake. For me personally, I don't really care about eating the same thing over and over. Tina is one of those that will not eat the same thing every day. We have to switch it up. So for us, that's actually where we get a lot of our benefits from, because Tina's so against eating the same thing over and over, but it makes it more beneficial for both of us because it kind of keeps it a little bit more entertaining and interesting, and we get to switch it up a lot. Switch up your routine, even if that just means just take a different route on your run or your bike ride, whatever you're doing. Maybe go to a different gym. I know gyms aren't really a thing right now; they're kind of illegal. But you know, do what you can in order to switch it up a little bit. Make yourself think that you're doing something different. My next tip, this is perfect. Find a support system. This is actually perfect with switch up your routine. Find a support system. Losing weight, getting healthy, all that stuff is so much better with a friend. And it's so much harder by yourself because you are your worst critic. And you're also your easiest, I don't really know the word I'm trying to say, but you give yourself the most of a break. So you can be like, I mean, it's Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. We'll start on Monday. Nobody starts a wellness routine on Friday. Come on, we'll start on Monday. Your support system, your buddy, your pal, whoever you have, will tell you, like, no, it doesn't matter that today's Friday. You can start whenever, or you can keep going whenever, or you can pour your heart and soul into it whenever. It doesn't have to be on a Monday, or it doesn't have to be a specific day of the week. It's got to be whenever you want to, and it's got to be that's where your support system would come in and just give you that kick in the boot, like you need it, or you know, that extra oomph. Motivation that you need, or that little pick me up after you, if you're down on yourself a little bit, or just to, knock that fudge sundae out of your hand when you think that this is it, the world is coming to an end. Support system is going to be great for you because all of this stuff is so much easier and better when you have a friend, and it's so much more difficult when you're trying to do it on your own. And that's just, go on a Facebook group or something like that, a meetup group, something, whatever you need to do to find support for you, to find somebody. There's always somebody, if not 10, 15, 20, 100 people that are going through the exact same thing that you're going through. So why not try and do it together? You know what I mean? We can do great things when we do stuff together, and alone is kind of, it's not fun nor motivating to do it by yourself. But when you have a support system, we have somebody to keep you going, when you have somebody to keep you accountable, that's when you start making waves. And my last tip, more than anything, I love them, essential oils. I use them for any sort of situation, thing that's going on in my life. And especially when I need motivation, when I need to uplift my emotions, stuff like that. These are perfect. One of my favorite oils, and is actually an amazingly named oil, is Motivate. This is actually a blend of oils that are perfect for uplifting the mood, invigorating the mind, keeping you going if you've had a rough day, uplifting you in the morning. And I love the smell too. I love it. I actually love the touch versions of the oils in this particular instance, because I like using them. I can roll them on my wrist, or I can roll it on my neck, little rollage on my collar. I like using it on the collar actually, because then it's not actually on my body. And then when I sweat, it kind of creates its own little diffuser. The touch one is definitely, that's my go-to, honestly. Another great one is Peace. Peace is actually, you can tell from the name, calm, relaxing, because when you're on a weight loss or wellness regimen journey, all that stuff, you are definitely going to need some peace, some quiet, some calm time, some time to unwind and relax. And You know, put this one over your heart, maybe inhale it a little bit. I like the smell of this one too. It's definitely calm, relaxing. Hint of lavender in there. I like this one. And this is definitely one of those that you're going to need to keep on hand, because you're going to, you know, starting a new routine or any of that stuff can be very detrimental to your health in the beginning. And if you don't have something to calm and relax your nerves, you're definitely going to, it's going to be a lot easier for you to fly off the handrails. And my last oil is On Guard. This is a blend from doTERRA that is actually an immune supporting blend. Protects your immune system, keeps you, well, on guard. But for me, it smells like Christmas. So it doesn't really have actually anything to do with motivating you, unless you're like me and you like the smell of Christmas. Because if you like the smell of Christmas, that will keep you motivated. And that's why I love it, because it smells like Christmas, it smells like happy time, keeps me motivated. And if you're like me, that's the way it's got to be. That's all I got for you for today. Thank you so much for joining me. My tips on keeping motivated throughout your weight loss workout routine. Have your why. Don't forget it. Forget about yesterday. Give yourself a pat on the back and keep moving forward, or a kick in the butt. Reward your successes. Keep a journal. Switch up the routine. Give yourself something different to do. Find a support system. Everything's better with a buddy. And essential oils, they are good for any situation that will come up in your life. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys have an awesome Friday weekend. Feel free to share this. I hope you got some value out of this. Feel free to share it with your friends, a family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this. I hope you guys have an awesome Friday, a wonderful weekend, and I look very forward to talking to you guys again. Love you guys. Bye for now.